Hey Rod Busters, Dan the safety man here, and today we're going to be talking about rigging. Now, I know you think anybody with 2 brain cells can do any basic rigging for a telehandler or a crane, but listen, it's a lot more dangerous than that. If apprentices aren't shown how to rig properly, your day can go from bad to the worst you can imagine.
As you can see, this is exactly what bad to worst you could imagine looks like.
Which is why today we're going to be showing you exactly what it should look like when a journeyman helps an apprentice and teaches them how to rig.
Whoa, 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 what is this? Now you can use some rigging method, you can use some chokers. No, this isn't going to work. I'll show you how to do this properly. Alright, so as you can see right here, we have 4 different types of rigging set up. First, you have your straps.
These synthetic web slings are perhaps the most common you'll see on sites, but it's important to remember that they must be removed from surface if any of the following conditions are present: acid or caustic burns, melting or charring of any of the surface areas, snags, punctures, tears or cuts, broken stitches, distorted fittings, or the color core warning yarns are showing, and if the tag has been removed, you must remove it from service. The tag on this synthetic web sling should include the name of the manufacturer, the type of sling material, its working load limits for when you're using it as a choker, straight vertical lifting, and when using it as a basket, but you don't really do that often. They are manufactured in single and double ply. The double ply synthetic web slings, the capacity ranges from about 140% to 200% that of a single ply synthetic web sling. So those are the beefy ones. Those are the ones you want to be using.
So usually these are just for lifting up regular stilts. There's nothing really special about these besides the fact that they can hold up stuff pretty well. If it's vertical, it would be 62,000. And its length would be 10 foot. All this information you need is right here, as with the as if our next ones, the slings or continuous loops.
The continuous loop is another type of synthetic web sling. However, it is much more practical in use when using it, for example, to land a column or a zone. It's much easier to rig, as well as the color of the sling determines what it is able to carry in terms of its breaking point, as well as the tag. But as with everything else here, the tag gives you all the information you should need, and if it is damaged or removed in any way, it has to be taken out of service.
Or things such as a core footing or core wall. And you could use them for the same thing as your straps, but there's a bit more specific use in these. Next, you have your sling hitch.
Sling hitches generally used for rigging cranes. The main thing to note with these is that when you're rigging, you have to pay attention to your angle. If you have an angle of 5 degrees, for example, the load angle factor is going to be like 11.5, but if you load it at a straight 90, it's just going to be straight exactly what you're carrying. So if you're carrying 2,000 pounds and you have it at a 90-degree angle, it'll be carrying 2,000 pounds. But if you were carrying 2,000 pounds and you have it at a 5-degree angle, that's going to be about 6 times the weight that you actually want on that sling. I know it doesn't sound like much sense, but when you get into the math of it all, it does.
Not much to say about these. They're mainly for double lifts. You can tell by their width and their strength that they're good for lifting shit up. And then you got your regular chokers. These are fucking weak. Their best thing really is for bundling up steel.
Thank you so much.
Oh, no problem.
As you can see, it doesn't look like they're using quite the right method to rig up that very large bundle of steel. Let's see how this is going to look once they've rigged it up. Now, come on, what is that? What kind of rigging is that? Okay, that's absolute trash. Let's be honest. That is just no. We've learned better. We understand better. Come on, guys. Let's see how this should look.
It might sound strange, but I wish it would rain. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Cause so badly, I wanna go outside.
Beautiful. That's exactly what it should look like. Equal spacing apart, same type of rigging. Now all that's left to do is to see what happens when we lift it up. Who knows? It's such a heavy bundle of steel. You really got to read the tags with this to figure out how much it can carry. Time for everybody's favorite section, signals. So, in this section, we're just going to show you very briefly, we have some pictures here of different signals for when you're lifting, but we're just going to breeze over these because they should be in your handouts. Plus, you can view this video yourselves and pause at any time. But the big thing to remember is when you're signaling, if you have two people signaling the same person, it's not going to work. They're going to get confused. They're not going to understand what you're saying. Basically, the rigger has got to be in sync with the operator. If you're not, they're going to have no fucking clue what's going on, and the whole thing's just going to be a shit show. So we're going to show you what that shit show would look like if you have two people signaling the same operator.
One signal at a time, you turkeys! Make up your mind! I don't know what you're trying to say!
As you can see, Rod Busters, that's all there is to it. I'll see you around.